Hello and welcome to Ride, a brand new series from FEI Originals that takes a deeper look into the equestrian world. On this week's episode, we hear from Australian eventer Megan Jones on how her and her family dealt with the bushfire crisis. We go behind the scenes on the set of children's horse drama Mystic. But we begin in the US state of Florida to find out more about an equine therapy program that benefits veteran service men and women.
To me, it's just great. I mean, I don't know what I'd do without it, really. I mean, I look forward to it every Wednesday. I wished I could come out here 5 days a week. I'm a totally different person out here. If we were trying to do this back in my apartment, wouldn't work. This wouldn't work. This has helped me so much.
Hope was founded almost 20 years. It's been 20 years. We are a not-for-profit, a 501(c), and it's called Hope Horses Helping People. It's not just a place to go ride. It's not a place to go have therapy. It's not because everybody's tired of all those words. You know, if what you need to do is go for a walk, then go for a walk and pet a horse, and that's okay, because sometimes we all need that. We know where they're coming from, not where they've been. That doesn't matter where they've been, what they expect to find out of it too. And they're all surprised, I think, once they get here, that how much they really want to come back and do more.
I started as a client and a volunteer, and I'm still a client, I'm still a volunteer, but now I'm on the board as our veteran board member. I joined the Air Force. I was daytime flight chief, which meant I was in charge of all the law enforcement that worked during day. I was medically retired after 13 and a half years. I'm considered 100% disabled. I'm proud that I got to serve. I wish I could have served my full 20, but things happen that we don't plan on.
If you compare a horse to a veteran, if you're talking PTSD and those kinds of things, they're very similar because they're both hypervigilant. They're both, startle real easy. It's more like they're in survival mode all the time. Because if you're talking about somebody that has been in combat, especially, that's where they are when they come back. So how do you get out of survival mode? Especially when you're talking about 18-year-olds that hadn't grown up to begin with.
They medically separated me because of all the brain injuries I received. And while I was in Korea, one of the behavioral health counselors, she was like, your brain's always in a fight mode. You're always ready to go. And it finally got to a point with my brain injuries, my brain is kind of like stuck like that. I can say that consciously or subconsciously for veterans, it is kind of like being in the military, because you have to go through the steps of, you come out, you get it bridled up, you take it in, brush it down, make sure its hooves are clean, you take it on a little ride or walk, and then you bring the horse back, clean it down again. And it's just a step-by-step process, something that we're used to doing is step-by-step. Humans always look for a connection, but with veterans, especially those of us that have been through combat situations, it's hard to connect to another person that's not a service member.
It's a very safe place. And to me, that's important. I have to be able to feel safe. And I get the connection with the horse when I'm with the horse. He takes me out of my mind, and it's just him and me. I don't have somebody watching me. I don't have somebody telling me, do this, do that. It's just him and me. And I like to talk to the horse. And so I talk to him. I tell him things that, I haven't told my doctors. And I know it's safe, and I know he still loves me no matter what I tell him.
It's an unconditional relationship that they're able to have. Horse doesn't judge them. To me, they kind of gravitate to each other, and as soon as that veteran takes that deep breath, that horse is there too.
I want to say joy in a way, and I feel in a good mood. When you're on the back riding one, it's just a different little place. No matter what, you know, no matter what, they're always a friend. They're always a friend.
I rang James. I said, I think we've got to go.
The plan was to leave and I didn't stick to the plan. I thought to myself, I might have made an error of judgment here.
In late 2019, after months of severe drought and record-breaking temperatures, bushfires swept across Australia. For Olympic silver medalist Megan Jones and her husband James Deacon, the fires posed a severe threat to their family life and livelihood.
It was about 9:30 and I was standing outside the house with the girls, just discussing what we're going to do for the day with the few horses that were in work, and literally smelt smoke and like saw a bit of it sort of come across past the house. So I rang James and he said, I can smell the smoke and it's travelling really fast. I said, I think we've got to go. So he said, okay, let's do this, you know. And so we were up and running within about 15 minutes. We've got not much time. We have 30 horses here. I knew it to get the horses to my parents' place in Harndorf, so like a 15-minute drive away. Then we had the realisation that, well, had no truck here. Jane had to stay back to coordinate the floats coming and going and just be here. So we just took all those horses and we took all the close horses first and left Talia and James home to bring the horses from the other paddocks to the main car park. And so we managed to move all the horses in an hour and 45 minutes.
So we've been evacuating horses this morning, got a fire really close. There's our next lot of floats going out. The mine here. Our truck down the city gets some work done to it, so we couldn't use that. So we've been doing lots of toing and froing.
It's a weird thing, social media, you know, it's really weird, but I don't know, I was doing it going, this is wrong, we shouldn't be doing this. It seemed like attention seeking, almost, you know, but at the end of the day, it helped so many people, I got so many messages and people after saying, we got out early because of what you put out there.
Megan and the horses made their way to safety, whilst James remained at the property.
So firstly, we're all right.
I thought to myself, just looking for a sign, just need a sign to stay, it's all I need. And I see a familiar face in my neighbour. So I pulled into his driveway, parked the car. I had the 6-pack of beer, I had Megan's silver medal on the front seat of my car, and we were there putting out spot fires. Zero visibility, or not zero visibility, probably 20 metres of just white smoke, and then the flame mixed into that. So we just got chased out by a wall of flame at that point. I jumped in the car, went down the hill, which is about 600 metres to the main street of Woodside, so we're really close to the town. I thought, I'll just stick my head around the corner here of the driveway would just come up. So I stuck my head around there, and there's just flames and flashing lights, and that was the first time I thought to myself, I might have made an error of judgment here, because the plan was to leave and I didn't stick to the plan. I just couldn't stop thinking about Finn and Megan, and not to the point that I was never going to see them again, but those images were the first thing that flashed into my mind. I was just angry at myself for putting myself in that situation.
The following morning, they returned to Hallmark Farm, not knowing what they would be going back to.
Well, it was so strange, because you drive up our road and all the trees are burnt and the paddocks are burnt. The fire came right up, hit quite a big gravel car park that we've got, so it didn't go to the front of the house. So you drive up going, everything's normal. And you can look out your front window and walk out the door. It smells like smoke, but your green lawn, your good arenas, nothing's damaged, you've got good trees, but you go to the back of the house and you see the stables are burnt down. The tree, which is 5 metres from the back door, is completely singed. The fire's got these snaky fingers up the lawn within 2 metres of the back door, you know? So you just look at that and just go, how did the house not catch on fire?
Restoration work began almost instantly and highlighted how people come together in times of need.
The sense of community here across the board is just phenomenal. I had to clear this, so I started clearing fence lines and all that stuff with community members, with friends, people turning up with chainsaws, people's young daughters turning up, picking up screws from cross country because we wanted to get the cross country up and back for everyone to use. And so the sense of support around us in so many different levels. The local Lutheran church, they brought food parcels around, dog food around, just all those things that, you know, you generally need to live and live your life. The people were just amazing.
To me, like, you don't look back, you can learn from things that happened, and we'll learn for next time about things we can change for the fires next time. But you just, everything in life for me is just keep moving forward. Life's there to be lived, yeah.
Sit. Mark it.
A brand new children's drama has hit our screens. Set in New Zealand, horse drama Mystic features an international cast and focuses on the unique bond between children and our equine friends. Ride was invited to spend some time on set to find out more.
Mystic is about a girl called Izzy, which is my character, the character I play, and she is moved from London to New Zealand by her mum, where she starts having mystical visions of a horse. And then the horse takes her to stables where she meets a bunch of kids. And it's all about them going on an adventure and trying to find what these visions have to do with Izzy. And it's just all about them trying to find out kind of what's going on.
So we are shooting in Bethel's Beach near Auckland, and we're shooting at this place is called Pigeon Park, and it's because it's full of wood pigeons and a lot of native Nico trees. We call them kirirus, beautiful birds, you might see some. We've got quite a few scenes here. This is our Garden of Eden set, so this is where the wild horses are, and this is where Izzy, our main character, she dreams of this place and they're searching for this place. So yeah, it's a very big day, horses and of course children, so it's always big.
Mystic is based upon the international best-selling book series Pony Club Secrets, written by New Zealand author Stacey Gregg.
Well, the original series was, I guess it was based on my childhood at Pony Club, just sort of fictionalised and dramatised so that, you know, so that things actually happened. And I was always fascinated by that whole world of eventing, the badminton horse trials. My heroes were like Mark Todd and Lucinda Pryor Palmer, and I just really, really loved the idea of taking this girl in a story arc through the 13 books from being an average Pony Club kid to becoming like an international eventing superstar. It's been up and sort of working towards coming to fruition for about 4 or 5 years now. So when they really said, look, this is going ahead, it's got the green light and it's happening, by then I was, you know, completely beyond belief. And I'm so thrilled. I mean, I think it's every author's dream that their books will become a TV show.
Yeah, the books are an incredibly compelling read, and any story, you know, obviously with horses featuring, you know, it's hard not to steer away from, you know, a strong connection with nature. And the landscape's a very important part of the story as well. So those elements all come together. That ties in very nicely with the natural story that was in the series anyway.
For 17-year-old British actress Macie Chipping, this wasn't a typical lead role. She had to pack her bags, leave her family and friends, and travel 11,500 miles to relocate on the other side of the planet.
I mean, it's been hard, but at the same time, like a lot of people are saying like, oh, like, do you miss your family? And obviously I miss my family, but being like around this, like the same people, the same crew and the cast every day, like 24/7, you start forming your own family. So like it hasn't actually been that difficult. We all love each other so much and like really look out for each other. So that aspect has been fine.
Macie's amazing. She honestly has some of the longest days. Like even any lead actor who has that amount of content can lose the plot. And she's just been so phenomenal. She loves working. She knows all her lines. She's so into the horses. She wants to be on the horses as much as possible. All the kids have created this amazing friendship, and you can tell on screen it reads really well. So I adore Macie. I want to adopt her, but I might not be allowed to. Yeah, she has parents, so.
I mean, it's new, isn't it? Like it's been such a great experience being able to travel like halfway across the world to film a TV series and like to meet all of these new people that I would not have met if I didn't get this role. So yeah, it's really nice.
Okay, one more riff. We bond through what we all love, which is acting, and also through just talking about life on set and our characters and. Yeah, it's really cool to see how that developed and how we started off as quite very different strangers, and now we've got this one thing that actually brings us all together, and even though we're quite different people that probably wouldn't meet otherwise, this has actually brought us together and shown us that we can make friends in all areas of life.
Honestly, I love them all so much. Like I said, we've become like a proper family. We all trust each other now, and it makes us give off such a better performance because we're supposed to be friends in the show, but we're like really good friends in real life, so it's not that much different.
One of the directors on the Mystic production is Edie Walker. No stranger to set life, having been one of New Zealand's leading actors of her generation. She has turned some of her focus to the other side of the lens and is breaking the age-old television rule of not working with children or animals.
First day I came on set just to meet the horses, and I just got so excited. Just so excited to meet the horses, and then when we started to see them moving, we shot a wonderful scene, like running through the woods, and it's just, they're so beautiful. And when we obviously shoot Mystic, it's even, it's just so elegant and beautiful, and we shoot it slow motion, and yeah, they're a beautiful addition. Well, they are the show. They're not an addition to the show, they are the show. So we're really lucky to have horses. A lot of the actors I've worked with over the last 20 years, and crew. Yeah, so that does really help. And people wanted to do the show because it was different and it has that supernatural ghost element that people really dig. So yeah, it's been really lovely crew. As you come around, look around everywhere, this is it. This is the place. So we have visions, we have things to remind us, we see what you're seeing. So I reckon, hey, doing a double check, confirming, and as you're landing, this is it, this is the place, yeah. It won't be too much, because you're quite wide, the shot's quite wide. Okay. And everyone look really kind of stoked that you found treasure. One more. Woo! Cut.
The man responsible for pairing the horses with the actors and overseeing all equine matters on set is the aptly named Horse Master. Quite possibly the coolest title in film and television production. In New Zealand, that honour went to Greg Smith.
I'm like the overall, we have a horse trainer and we have wranglers, so I suppose I'm just the top of the list of, in some ways it's good because I have my team and we sort stuff out, but then at the end of the day, it all falls back on me too. When stuff goes wrong, like I'm in charge, so it's like, it's the horse master's fault that it hasn't worked. So, it has good and bad. Well, I've ridden pretty much my whole life. So, sort of started off eventing actually, like 3-day eventing, went into dressage, went to the UK and was riding over there. Sort of got homesick and then moved back to New Zealand. So just came back and I've been riding dressage back here. And then I got a call one day saying, can you come and be a riding double on The Hobbit? So I did 9 months on The Hobbit at the end, and then I just met another horse master that just gave me different roles. So I did some stuff on Spartacus, then did a little bit of work as wrangler on Mulan, and then got involved with Letter for the King, which is out this year as well. So I was sort of assistant horse master on that. And then this job came up and got asked to be horse master for this job. So it's been really good. Most of our horses will be quarter horse bred. So, and they just have a really good attitude about working and life. So, you know, I wouldn't go and get a racehorse off the racetrack and say, right, you can be a movie horse, because it's, you know, they're a little bit more highly wound. So we went through the horses we had on at the farm to say, like, working with the characters of the kids that play the characters to match their horses. So we went through all our horses and thought, okay, this one would suit this character.
My horse is very, very lazy, but he's also quite sassy, which is really interesting. I've kind of like got used to it now, but like I said, they all have their different personalities, so it's just, yeah, it makes it a lot more interesting.
Personality of my horse, oh, he's the nicest. He's the horse where you go up to the stables and he'll be the first one to greet you. He'll be the one that will go up to you, want pats, just want to be around people, and is very, very sort of open and very. He listens to me, which is very, very nice, because half the time I'm just like, okay, and he's like, nah. So he's definitely he's wearing the pants of the relationship between the rider and the horse. So yeah, like now I'm watching YouTube clips of people do everything on horses. I've been watching competitions and stuff like that, and this appreciation for just the area and horses in general have just boosted. It's crazy. Like, I'm sort of annoyed that I didn't look into it beforehand, but now it's fun.
I was an avid fan of the books when I was about 12 or 13. I don't know if I've really detailed this in depth to anyone, but I read all of the books. I was obsessed with it. I had like horse posters all over my room. So when this came along, I was like, oh my gosh, this is perfect. It is truly really rewarding, because you get this bond with the horse and you can do these incredible things that you wouldn't get otherwise.
The cast have been amazing, because obviously pretty much all of them have never really ridden. They'd sat on a horse or they'd been with horses. So we had that whole process of teaching all the actors to ride, and I mean, they've done a super job. And now we're filming. They do a lot of the riding themselves without having any doubles. And yeah, so then it's matching, so they get time to get to know the horse and they can build a bond.
I love learning new things, so like especially like horse riding, to be able to learn it for free and just like bond with like horses is such an amazing experience to like be able to be a part of. But my horse is Boston. He's so cute. He's very sweet and like, yeah, he's very lazy and loves food. So like if you give him food, he'll do like quite a lot of things for you, but otherwise he's like very hard to get going. But once he's going, he's like super like mild-tempered. Yeah, he's very chill.
I didn't know how to horse ride, but it's like a useful thing as an actor, like an extra skill to have, because a lot of productions require that skill. So it was something I was interested in, and discovering that just getting the acting role was exciting enough, and finding out about horses was like an extra bonus. I feel like we're alike in a lot of ways, where you'll often find Boone dozing off, and me dozing off on his back. He likes to do his own thing. He's cheeky. He'll bend down and pretend to itch his leg and then grab a mouthful of grass.
This is the first time with horses, so I've learned how to ride, I've learned how to muck up, I've learned how to do everything just within a small span of time. And it's been fun.
It's been great because all the actors have sort of bonded with their horse, so every day when they come to set, they come straight up to their horse and they're getting quite involved, which is quite nice. They've got lines, we've got places to take the horse, so it's like getting all that right and no one making a mistake to make it work is not the easiest, but it's great when it actually comes off.
Part 1 aired internationally earlier this year, with Part 2 coming in 2021. Join us again soon to discover more amazing stories from the equestrian world.